My name's John. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience. Let's get my reactions in real time and see if they earned me smashing the like button.
They lack the confidence to actually go ahead and build things. The other thing that I would suggest is that you actually document what you're working on. Because if you're
using GitHub, it's going to be documented. You're pushing up commits. What is a commit? What is GitHub? GitHub is a place where you save your code. If you've ever played a video game, think about pushing a commit is like creating a save. You're like saving your game, and you can go back to that point in time whenever you want. So the commits themselves are documentation, but also we have this thing called a README file, which is a standard thing that you should include in all of your projects. It looks just like this, readme.md. So this is a Next.js portfolio. You can totally use this as a template and use it yourself. You can also access a deployed version here. I recommend your projects have a deployed version. Recruiters, they will see your resume. Recruiters don't understand code, but if you give them an application that they can click buttons and see that the thing works, you're going to impress the recruiter, you're going to progress on in your job search. He's talking about confidence and building confidence in yourself, and that's going to help motivate you and keep you motivated for making more projects. A pro tip here is to adopt a pet project. So in the trial by fire, it's a basic blog. You know what a blog is, right? Everyone knows what a blog is. That's one of the reasons this is a good project, is because you already have your head around the mental model of the problem before you even start writing any code. When you level up and you upskill to React and then to Next.js, a full stack application, you can keep this same pet project, which is you're basically doing the same thing, making a blog. That's called a pet project. By doing this, you already have a lot of the hard cognitive work taken care of because you know what you're doing from a business or product or feature perspective. The hard part is formulating the right question. But if you're familiar with the pet project and you know what a blog is and you know what the features are, you know what the user experience you want is, it helps you ask the right question. And then it's just it's basically a translation problem, like English to Spanish, except it's English to code. And Google and ChatGPT make that translation easier than it's ever been before.
Is that you try to specialize, like try to learn one area well.
That's true, but you don't need to specialize before you start interviewing. And don't think that you need to specialize in the traditional categories like DevOps, InfoSec. These are deep competencies. You can create differentiation with small changes. For example, as a junior engineer, simply writing unit tests makes you stand out well above the crowd. These are some of the T-shaped incremental skills. Once you have front-end basics, where can you go from there? You can go from the front end to the back end. You can go stay on the front end and adopt accessibility, SEO, testing, TypeScript. Those are some of the skills I'd have you look at.
Areas, but also for projects. A lot of people think that you need to have 10 projects, 20 projects before you can show off.
You don't need 10 projects. You're not even going to be able to talk about 10 projects. If you get face-to-face with an interviewer, think about it working backwards from the job search and backwards from the conversation with the hiring manager. If you have 15, 20, 30 minutes with the hiring manager, you're not going to be able to explain that many projects. So really, you only need 3.
All you're aiming for is like one well-documented, one well-implemented project that you can actually talk about.
Now he says one can work, but you're going to have much better experience if you can show 2 and you can compare and contrast. Consider, for example, a developer who only knows React and they don't know Angular or Vue or Svelte or anything else. They're not capable of doing a compare-contrast. Now consider that you're a hiring manager and you have 2 candidates. One knows React, that's sort of table stakes these days, and the other knows 2 frameworks and can compare and contrast them, show the pros and the cons. Maybe they know alternate rendering modes, client-side versus server-side rendering. Who are you going to go for? The person that has 1 project or the person that has 2 or 3? It's not that much work to get to 2 or 3, and it's a really good return.
So tip number 4 would be to get involved with the community and just keep yourself accountable to them by showing your daily progress. I didn't know how to manage.
We're smashing like, he's earned it. Good job, Marko. So this entire Latterly.io site where you can sign up for free, it's not only free, it's open source. And so you can access the curriculum directly if you want to just read through it like a markdown file. One of the things that is also here is the endorsed community guide. So yes, I do have my own Discord. It looks like Marko has one too. Maybe check out both of them. But there are these other communities, including large Discord communities with hundreds of thousands of members in the React world. React-to-Flux is a big one. Free Code Camp.
Persevere. Like a lot of people get discouraged. I see there was one guy in particular in our Discord community who was like, I sent all these like CVs to people and they just rejected me. And I was like, okay, how many CVs did you send? And he was like, 5. Well, you know, it's a numbers game. It just could have been the wrong.
It needs to be like 500, not 5. You should be doing 50 a week.
Time for the company to hire that particular role.
And when you apply, you need to do social follow-up. Don't just apply by itself on a website, throw your resume out into the abyss. You need to find a human that works at the company, and they need to fall into one of 3 relevant roles: a technical recruiter, a hiring manager, or a fellow developer. You can utilize these free and open source networking scripts.
Just keep on working on your project, making it better, and every time you speak about it, you will notice for yourself that you are speaking about it in a...
So his tip is have perseverance. I agree with that. Marko, I wish you gave us tips about how to maintain that motivation. I think forming those social relationships is one way. Huberman talks a bit. You can check out this. Here's the concrete meditation protocol. So this might help you with psychological resilience. In addition to, you can just go to Google Scholar and check out kind of the classic social emotional things. But basically those are like we already said. Join a community, make some friends, talk shop with them. And I think building in public helps here. So maybe you're not getting job offers, but if you're getting likes on your YouTube video or on your TikTok or on your tweets, I think it is motivating. And if you're not getting likes, but if you're getting comments like, hey, you need to fix this or that you can also view through a positive lens. Maybe you're like bummed because you didn't get a like or whatever, but they're giving you feedback on how to improve your portfolio, which is ultimately really helpful too. Incorporate that feedback, fix your portfolio, and then you can expect to see some likes.